If you marry someone and they're allergic to your birds, what do you do? It's a very valid question, and I'm going to give you a few things to consider before you marry a parrot keeper. The noise. Parrots make noise, just like people make noise. But I can tell myself to shut up. I can't tell my birds to shut up because they naturally make different vocalizations throughout the day. So if you're comfortable with your bird's noises throughout the day, will your wife be comfortable with these noises? She may grow annoyed of these noises. Maybe she wants to be on a phone call with her friends, maybe her family, and she doesn't want to hear the sound of a garbage truck backing up because your parrot caught on to it a few weeks ago. These are the things you have to consider. Noise, right? Sometimes they just wake up and they decide to create their own combination of sounds just to celebrate the sun rising. Are you okay with that? Are you okay with having an animal that you can't control? Because we have to remember, these are wild animals and they do whatever they want. Let's be honest here. So that's one important thing to consider. Another thing to consider is the mess, right? These parrots, when I feed them, they pick up their food, they throw it, they fling it, they eat some, drop it, they poop wherever they want, they fly wherever they want. These birds are messy, and these might be some of the messiest pets you could ever obtain. Now, if you're marrying a parrot keeper, are you okay with the mess? Are you okay with bits of fruit and vegetables on the floor? Are you okay with needing to mop every day, sweep every day, vacuum every day? If you have a species like the African gray here, where they actually have dust that comes off of their feathers, are you okay with your house being coated in this dust? If you're not, you may not want to marry a parrot keeper. It's a lot of cleaning involved, and I'm pretty sure one of these days your husband or wife may ask you to help with the cleaning. So for my third point, are you okay with having a pet in the house that bites? So typically, if you have a dog or a cat, you can train them not to bite for the most part. But for a parrot, you can work on it with them, but you'll never be able to control a wild animal. You will get bitten. It's all a part of the game here. And it's a huge possibility that you'll get bitten if your husband or wife has a parrot. Now you have to ask yourself, am I okay with getting bitten? Because it will happen. And sometimes your husband or wife that owns these parrots, they may have bite marks on their neck. And you may say, where are these bite marks from? And they're going to say, listen, I wasn't doing it. It was my parrot. He bit my neck. It happens. It happens. You can be bitten by your parrot, and you may have unexplainable bruises that you have to explain to your wife. Listen, I did not, this wasn't from another woman. This was my parrot. He bit me on my arm and my neck and my ear and my, listen, this is serious. You can get accused. You got to be careful. Remember, if your husband or wife is a parrot keeper and they have a bite mark on their neck, it's a huge possibility it was the parrot and not another woman. Be very careful with that. Next, guys, you have to consider the restrictions in parrot keeping, right? So my fiance loves candles, beautiful scents. Ah, beautiful candles. There are a lot of restrictions when it comes to parrots. You can't have any candle you want when you have parrots. If you're smart, you have no candles because you don't want to take the risk at all. Now, if your wife loves these candles, she has to get used to the fact that she can never have that candle she loves again. She can never have that Febreze as a Febreze. I don't know because I don't use it. The Febreze, she can't spray that all around the house and make everything smell like flowers because those can't be used around parrots. These birds here cost $6,500 each. Do you think I'm going to let a $5 candle kill my birds? No way. No way. Guys, these are things you have to consider. She may love Teflon pans. She loves a non-stick. She's moving the egg around. Can't use it. The only pan you should be using is stainless steel, ceramic, or cast iron. Anything else, I don't care how non-stick it is. I don't care if you can put an egg on it and roll it around. Like, you can't use it. Absolutely not. I mean, there are alternatives when it comes to these things, like, ceramic pans are non-stick. You can use natural air fresheners made of cinnamon, made of orange peels, made of cloves. But guys, There are a lot of restrictions. Cigarette smoke. If you smoke, don't come in my house. If you smoke, don't smoke around my birds. Smokers they don't go hand in hand with parrots. I have nothing against smokers. That's fine. But look, you can't do it around the birds. That's another deal breaker. Like I said, guys, the allergies. If you marry someone and they're allergic to your birds, what do you do? Really? What do you do? Do you give up the birds or do you walk away from that relationship? And a lot of people are going to say, oh, you can just put them in a separate room and put a thing under the door. You can put towels under the door. You get 7 air purifiers. It's not going to work. It's not going to take away all the allergens within that atmosphere. It's not going to work. Unless you put them in a separate structure outside. If you built another house behind your house, maybe that would work. But if you think you're going to have the birds in a house and have someone allergic, it's not going to work. This gray dust travels all around my house and they're in a room that's totally far away from my bedroom, but I see feathers in my bedroom. You can't do it. So consider that. Maybe if you're dating, bring them around the parrot. Let them have some feather dust in their face. Let them get a little dust on them, sprinkle on, because you have to know. You have to know if they're allergic or not. Listen, we don't want to have this problem down the road where now we have to think who's got to go. Because this cage took a lot to put together. And I'm not taking it apart. Parrot jealousy. Okay, my guys here, they're not tame. They play with each other. They don't care about me. But a lot of people have love affairs with their parrots. Nothing wrong with that. But their parrot loves them. They love their parrot. And they spend hours at a time playing with their parrot. They spend hours at a time playing with their parrot, smelling their parrot, breathing their parrot, petting their parrot. Now they have a jealous wife. It's a situation here where there can be jealousy. The wife can be jealous of the parrot can be jealous of the wife, and one day the parrot attacks the wife. It happens. I've seen it happen. So you also have to watch out for that jealousy factor, because the jealousy can ruin the relationship. So these are things you have to consider. Now, another thing you have to consider, no vacations. If you don't have someone you trust that will take care of your parrots while you're gone, you will never go on a vacation ever again. Thankfully, I have a good friend named Kim who has vowed to take care of my parrots when I go away. But if you don't have this, you will never be able to go on vacation again. And you have to be okay with that because you love the birds so much, right? So, would your wife be okay with that? Never going on vacation, never going on a weekend getaway, a romantic trip where you're frolicking in the wind, you're not able to do that anymore? That's something huge to consider. And I mean, it may work for the first 6 months, but after a year, is your wife still okay with not going anywhere? These are things you have to consider. You don't want a parrot to get in the way of your relationship. So you consider these things before you marry a parrot keeper, before a parrot keeper marries you. Watch this video to know exactly what you need to consider before you get married. And don't get married until you talk to me. So we also want to talk about money. I know you guys probably know this, but the number one cause of divorce is money problems. Now, are you okay with your parrot keeper husband or wife spending hundreds of dollars per month on parrot food, on parrot toys that get destroyed in a matter of days, on parrot cages, on parrot perches, on parrot supplements, on parrot fruits and all these different types of things add up to a significant expense. These 2 birds here probably cost me about $300 to $400 a month, per day. Now, how much of that will you tolerate? You're not going on vacations and now the wacko's paying $400 a month on parrot stuff? These are things to consider. And it may seem small in the beginning, but as the relationship grows, you may say, I was okay with this before, but no vacations, this guy's spending thousands of dollars on these parrots. What about me? These are the things that happen. Now, it didn't happen to me because I was blessed. My fiance loves the birds. She's not in love with the birds, but it's the perfect fit. She's totally open-minded to this lifestyle. And again, I have friends that will take care of my birds in my absence, but these are things you need to always consider. Now, one final thing that we really have to point out here, we really have to point this out here is, are you able to tolerate a husband or wife that is constantly binge watching the African Gray Journal? Guys, this happens. People's husband and wives call me. Listen, please stop the videos. My husband is watching too much. He's not sleeping. You have to consider people will watch this channel so much. One guy said, I haven't seen my wife in 3 weeks. I've been watching a video. This happens. Moderation is key. And instead of watching all the African Gray Journal videos, get yourself a Feathers of the Congo hoodie like this one. It's actually on sale, nearly half off. And you can always have the African Gray Journal right with you. Marrying a parrot keeper can be very challenging. Put in the comments below if you're willing to marry a parrot keeper. I'm engaged to be married, but I'm sure there's other people that are looking to be married. Maybe we can form a matchmaking service for parrot people. The Parrot Tinder, because we need people that truly understand the hobby, truly understand who we are, and are willing to jump into the lifestyle that we call parrot keeping. Guys, this is the African Gray Journal. Like and subscribe, but don't watch too many. We'll see you next week. The next video is going to be amazing. Crazy.